What's up guys, macadii here. Now today I'm bringing you guys an OU session, and I haven't actually made the team yet because I figured that it's going to be a Volt turning team, and I haven't actually made many of those live, so you guys may benefit a little bit more if I make this live as a sort of live team builder. I can get your suggestions and I will make sure to do the first battle after I've got all your suggestions on how to improve the team. So we're going to be building around Rock Paper, the Mega Scizor, which I decided was going to be our sort of staple sort of defogger, Roost, extremely bulky, not necessarily hitting really hard like some Mega Scizors go for. It's going to be much more of a sort of a defensive set that's going to sort of be the glue that holds the team together. So I decided to go for Bullet Punch, because who doesn't run Bullet Punch on a Mega Scizor? U-Turn, because obviously it's going to be a sort of Volt turning team, and it gives me a bit of switch initiative and things like that. And then I decided on Roost and Defog, mainly because obviously if we're a bulky set we want the Roost, and Volt turn teams really struggle with opposing hazards, so to have a really strong sort of defensive reliable defogger is really useful. So that's the main reason I decided to run this as a sort of a bulkier set. So we got 236 in HP, 72 Impish in defense, and then 200 in special defense. I didn't actually choose these EVs. These EVs are recommended by Smogon, just because it gives it a really, really good all-round bulk when it megas up. So should be absolutely fantastic. Now, obviously this is a more sort of specially defensive one, and who can't have a Volt turn team without a Rotom-Wash? So we're going to go for a Rotom-Wash. I haven't used one in a very, very long time, so I feel justified in using it. So we're going to go for a sort of fairly standard defensive set. You have to run Hydro Pump on them, so we're going to go for Hydro Pump, Will-O-Wisp. Trying to remember what else they run. This is why I've not used one in so long. Is it? Let's go for Hydro Pump, Will-O-Wisp. Oh, Volt Switch. Why am I forgetting Volt Switch? Volt Switch, and I think we're going to go for Pain Split on this. Because we don't have the sort of a huge amount of HP, and I think that's a reasonable thing to go for. We could change that up for rest. If you guys let me know, I will obviously change that up if you think I'm better off with rest. I may in fact be better off with that, but we'll run with that for the time being. Now, I was thinking about Volt turn teams and thinking what's their sort of aims, what are they trying to actually achieve. So they're sort of thinking about it. There's sort of two different ways that you can run them. You can first of all run them to sort of keep bringing in threats, forcing them out, sort of slowly whittling them down to a point where you just sort of grind them into nothing. Or you can use it to whittle down a team to a point where a sweeper can come in and then actually sort of run through the rest of the team from there. So what I was thinking was to go for that second option. And if we go for a Azumarill with a Sitrus Berry Belly Drum, if we design this Volt turn team to sort of whittle down its and also remove its counters, we can actually get a really, really good sort of sweep going with the Azumarill and sort of use it as a late game sort of clean up from there. So we're going to go for Play Rough, Waterfall, and to be honest, I'm going to go for Aqua Jet. I was tempted for Superpower, but I think that's probably the best way to go, because we need some priority. We're not particularly fast, and especially with the Belly Drum weakening us. And it's also good to have a bit more of a hard-hitting move with Waterfall as well. I may change that up for Superpower. We will have to see. But I can go for... well, no, we're going to go for a Jolly set, I think, rather than a bulky set. So we can go for that. We're going to go for a Jolly over Adamant. I think is probably the way to go, just to get that little bit of extra speed. And I think that might be the way to go, considering, yeah, it outspeeds defensive Rotom, just about, so I think that's probably the way to go. So from there, we can have a look at Azumarill and think, right, what does it actually struggle to beat once it gets a Belly Drum off? And I can see sort of Steel types and, like, especially Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is a huge stop to this, and my team can't really do a huge amount to that. So, maybe a Magnezone is the way to go, because we can magnet pull a lot of the threats, mainly Steel types and things like that, and stuff like that. So that's probably the best way to go. So we could go for like a Choice Scarf, on there with obviously Magnet Pull, because that works well because it fits with our Volt Turn team. We've got the Hidden Power Fire. Make sure I click the Hidden Power Fire, and maybe Flash Cannon for fairies. And the last move, even if we just go for Thunderbolt, I think that's probably the way to go. So we're going to go for Thunderbolt on there with 252 in there, 252, and we're going to make this just Timid, because obviously Scarfer. I know 60 isn't great sort of speed to go forward with Scarfer, but it means we outspeed a lot of other steel types that are quite, that sort of can threaten us, but then once we got the, once we're faster, a Hidden Power Fire should KO most of them. Especially things like Heatran and stuff like that. If that comes in, we can still get a good Thunderbolt off, which will be able to do a huge amount, depending on its set. But we will be outspeeding every single form of Heatran, which is definitely the way to go in my opinion. So on top of that, we also struggle with this team. I can see sort of maybe bulky things like Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur does a number on this team actually, because Hidden Power Fire, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and if they Rat Pack the EQ as well. So is there any Pokemon that really threatens? I mean, Thundurus could be an option, but then it doesn't really have much in the terms of like Flying Stab. Maybe even the Therian form would be the way to go. It's really difficult to, because that means we've got another Volt Switcher, which is great to have, I must admit. So maybe that's the way to go. So we're going to go for a Thundurus-T here, and we can go for, do we go for Life Orb? Well, we'll choose the moves first. So we're going to go for Volt Switch. Focus Blast is probably the way to go here, because that means we can handle other sort of steel types and stuff like that. I'm actually going to go for the Hidden Power Flying, I think, because that means we can hit those, yeah, because we can hit Mega Venusaur pretty hard with that. I mean, we've got 145 special attack. We're at a really trolley speed tier as well, 101, which means we outspeed a lot of Megas as well. So I can see this being quite useful. In terms of the last move, we don't really have anything sort of for Psychic types, so maybe a Dark Pulse is the way to go. I could set up and use Nasty Plot, but then that doesn't really work with the Volt Switch. So I think we're going to go for the Dark Pulse here with maybe Leftovers is the way to go. Leftovers, Volt Absorb. Volt Absorb's good because it means we can stop other Volt Turners as well. 252, 252, and Timid. So we've got a lot of special attackers. So we ideally need some sort of physical attacker, maybe another U-turner as well. Going on there, because we've only got one U-turner, we've got 3 Volt Switches, so we ideally need something else with U-turn that can force more switches. Let's have a look. So Gliscor is an option, but then I'm not really a fan of that outside of just the bulky substall. Even then, I don't like facing that, I must admit. It's tempting to put Hidden Power Ice on here. It's really tricky to know. But then it doesn't really counter. Yeah, we'll have a think about it. If you guys let me know what you think with the Thundurus. I mean, Hidden Power Flying is good because it hits a few things a bit harder, but lacking HP Ice is going to be a pain, especially for things like Gliscor and stuff like that. I guess we have the Azumarill, which we can use in the end of the day. But in terms of U-turners, I mean, Landorus-T is an option. But how would that work synergy-wise? We've got 2, 3... We've got 1 Ice Weakness there. We've got 3 Ice Resists there. We've got Water Immunity. So actually, Landorus might be the way to go. Because if we go for a Landorus... Landorus-T. Now, we could either be cheeky and run double Scarf here. Which means that we can force a lot of switches. We could even go Choice Banded on this, actually. As a sort of wall breaker, really hitting hard. But then our aim isn't to wall break; it's to weaken the enemy until we can get the Azumarill down. Or we could go for a bulky Stealth Rock set. But then, considering we're going to be defogging quite a lot with Rock Paper, I can't see that being productive. I'm almost tempted to run double Scarf, which sounds absolutely stupid. But considering both of the Scarfers have U-turn and Volt Switch, I'm not too worried about it. If you guys let me know what you think, I would really appreciate that. Because, why did I even type E-Quake? I don't know. So we're going to go for Earthquake, U-turn. Do we go for... Try to remember what else when you normally run on these. Knockoff's an option, but then I don't like Scarf Knockoff. We don't have a Knockoff, so actually Knockoff's probably going to be quite good for Chansey and stuff like that, because once the Chansey's knocked off, Azumarill has a bit of a better time. I don't know the calcs, so that might not be correct. Stone Edge is a thing, which could be an option. I think Stone Edge is probably going to be for Mandabuzzers and things like that. I guess we have a lot of Volt switching, so that might not be the most useful thing. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Explosion, so maybe Explosion's the way to go. We're going to stick with Stone Edge for the minute, I think, because we can outspeed Mega Charizard Y, and that's a really good stop to that. So we're going to go 252, 252. Timid, that is a good point. Actually, Megazard Y does do a number on this team. I mean, Thundurus does outspeed with that trolley speed tier, but even then, I still think it's worth... Oh, not Timid. We don't want Timid. We want Jolly. So we're going to go for 252 to 252 there, with 4 in special defense, just to add a tiny bit more. We'll just pop a little bit more in there. I always forget about these little 4s. While they don't make a massive amount of difference, things like Azumarill with download, it does make a bit of difference. Rotom's fine, and then Rock, Paper, Scissors is fine. So I'm quite happy with the team at the minute, because we've got sort of a Volt Turn core of 5 Mons, which should hopefully sort of work their way around the different around their team to a point where they can Volt Turn out into the Azumarill, and then I can get a safe belly drum off and pretty much sweep from there. So I'm quite happy with the team so far. I would absolutely appreciate you guys if you could post in the comments saying how you think I should improve the team. As I said, I'm probably going to be recording this on Tuesday evening, even if it's just the first battle. So make sure you let me know by then of sort of how you want to improve me to improve the team and everything like that. I'm starting to ramble, so I should probably go. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the team, and I will see you guys at our first battle. Macadii out.